Hello peoples. I'm just going to make a quick video of this Zero X Pro Ascend drone, and what I'm going to talk about is basically the controller and the difference between mode 1 and mode 2, and it's all to do with the way the actual sticks work. Right? I'm sure there's plenty of people who already know about it. It's been around, RCs have been around since the 1960s. The likes of Southeast Asia and Australia have worked in mode 1. The likes of the US and some other countries, which I couldn't tell you who they are, work in mode 2. Right, it doesn't really matter. It's what suits you. Right, in a lot of the smaller controllers and small drones, helicopters, planes, whatever it might be, is generally, not always. You can change the configuration, but generally it's the either mode 1 or mode 2. But in a lot of this newer stuff, there's the ability to be able to change the controller between mode 1 and mode 2. There is also mode 3 and mode 4, but I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about that later at some stage. Righto. I just want to tell you this drone here that I've been taking videos of. This model here is the Zero X Pro Ascend. It is the 180p full HD version. It's not the 4K, but I'm sure the 4K model controls would be very similar to this one here. I think, couldn't tell you for a fact, but I think it's only the camera that's different in the 4K version. But anyway, we'll get off that. We'll go back to this controller and mode 1 and mode 2. Right, this drone, this controller is at factory default in mode 2, which is US. Predominantly it's used in the US and, like I said, some other countries, but I don't know who they are. Righto, here in Australia we use mode 1, not all the time, but it's quite handy to know the difference between mode 1 and mode 2, and I can actually change the controller between mode 1 and mode 2. Right, and I'll show you the difference. Right, here we go. The drone's not on, so don't stress, it's not going to go anywhere. Righto, I'm going to power the controller on. We power the controller on by pressing the power button once. Alright, now in mode 2, your elevation and your descend lever is on the left, and this is mode 2. So, and to reiterate that, we'll sync the controller to the drone. The drone's not on, so don't worry, it's not going to go anywhere. Forwards, backwards. The controller will sync to the drone. Right. And your left is here on the left joystick, left, and your right on the right hand joystick, your pitch forwards and pitch backwards, and your pitch left and your pitch right is on your right hand joystick. Right. Now, that's at the factory default. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch the controller off. Press that 3 times to turn the controller off. Now I can change this controller to mode 1 by just the press of a couple of buttons. Right, and you'll see on the top here, see that the camera button here. So what we do, we hold that down and we power on the controller, right? By doing that, it changes the controller into the configuration of mode 1. So now, what happens, your throttle or elevation is on the right hand joystick, right? Your pitch forwards and pitch backwards is on your left hand joystick, right? Your yaw stays the same, it's on the left hand joystick. Your pitch left and your pitch right stays on the right hand joystick. That's all the difference it is. It's a personal preference, the way you feel, the way you want to control the drone or helicopter or whatever it might be. I generally use, doesn't really bother me what I use. Mode 2 is very easy. Mode 1, yeah, it's probably not the best, but mode 2 is the best, I think, because when you're changing, when you're operating at the controls, right? Basically, with mode 2, all your forwards, backwards, left, right, wherever you want to go, it's all on the one stick, right? So you've got fairly good control over it. You can just go forwards, backwards, right, left, right, whatever. On your left hand joystick, right, you've got your elevation up, and you descend, and then you've got your yaw, or your rotate, whatever you want to call it, is rotate left, rotate right, is here. So you can raise it. You got pretty good control over the height of your drone with the one hand. If you have a bit of trouble when you're learning to use these things, you know, if you want to raise it a little bit, just raise it, lower it, raise it, lower it. It's very easy. Mode 1 can be a bit funny, because with mode 1 you have your throttle here, right, which you raise, and your descend is here, and your pitch forwards, like your pitch forwards, you have to use, if you want to elevate and use, you're doing the likes of this, pushing forwards on both sticks. Doesn't really matter. It's a personal preference. Get used to doing both of them. It's quite handy. Anyway, not want to crap on too much more. We'll leave it at that, I think. Have a go, have a crack. See what you reckon. See what you think. It is in the manual if you want to have a bit of a look. But it's very brief. Just tells you quickly how to do it. But anyway, not to worry. Righto, I'll leave it to you. Thanks guys. See ya. Bye.